Hi guys, welcome back. So Ireland win a really good game. I enjoyed it. 24-14. They get a bonus point win at home. Wales, even though they scored in the last minute, actually come away with nothing. So disappointing for Wales. Brilliant for Ireland. I enjoyed the game, like I said. Let's have a little look at it, see what themes come up. So, after 2 minutes, Ireland are on a 5-metre scrum and Wales win a huge scrum penalty. And I was just thinking, well done those Welsh props. I had kind of thought maybe they should be playing a few more mobile props potentially, but they and Wyn Jones actually got a turnover 5 minutes after that. So good start for Wales there, and they were kind of hanging into this game really well. At half time they were well into it. On 9 minutes I thought both sides were really going at it, and Wales were weathering the storm, that home advantage storm where that enthusiasm really came at them. So they're holding out nicely. And on 40 minutes I made a note that Henshaw was looking back to his best. In my previous video I said that Henshaw, I think he's back to his best, he'll look good, and he looked really good in this game. Shame he went off though. I hope he's okay for the next match. And Murray's passing was looking sharp. He actually broke a bit in this game as well, so a better game for Murray. Penalty for Ireland. They go to the corner, don't get 3 points, but they're held up, so you're thinking positive, but didn't pay off there. But on 18 minutes Ireland's pressure does pay off. It's a no frills build up if you like, but then Lama, individual brilliance, nice and slippery. Through he goes, try. Tompkins makes a missed tackle. And then the worst conversion attempt ever from Sexton. But anyway, 5-0 to Ireland. Okay, on 25 minutes, it looks like Ireland are on top possession-wise, territory-wise. Wales hanging tough, which is what they do. Wales are very good at hanging tough. We saw that in the World Cup. And they get their own try through Thomas Williams. It's a lovely attack. Width, offloads, plus some Bosch. It's just a brilliant attack. They convert it 5-7, so they take the lead even though Ireland have been on top. But then Thomas Williams, after scoring this fantastic try, then goes and drops the ball, takes his eyes off it, 5 metres out, and then Furlong with 2 guys on him, an absolute unstoppable arrowhead, smashes over, classic Furlong try, 12-7. So at half time, Ireland will be very happy with that lead because they did control possession and territory. Wales's attack looks slightly more ambitious. They're trying to offload a bit more, a little bit more width, but not enough possession. So it's nicely poised. After half time, Ireland kind of pick up where they left off with the possession, the territory. They get a really good attack in, but Tompkins makes it up for his missed tackle, putting a big shot on Lama, snuff out that attack. But they do get a penalty, 5-metre line out, and an unstoppable maul try. The momentum skids it over the line, and Ireland's maul looked great all game. So a big positive line out and maul there for sure. And at this point I'm thinking Wales have simply got to control possession for longer periods of time to get back into this. And then they go and do just that. So great stuff. Parks just loses the ball over the line after a brilliant build-up attack. And I'm just thinking, big moment there. It was like 10 minutes of sustained Wales possession and attack. They go for a scrum instead of 3 points. But then Ireland get the penalty and you're thinking, is that the winning of the game? I know there's like 20 minutes to go, but that's what it felt like to me. And it proved to be the case in the end. Anyway, Ireland's maul is causing massive problems. They're playing for territory now, playing clever rugby. Wales are having to chase the game, and Ireland happy to play a bit slower, which is sensible, kicked for territory, just try and pin Wales back in their own half, and it's working at the moment. And then the pressure tells again. Really good sustained attack, lovely hands. I think Lama just manages to get it out to Conway, nice finish, and it's the bonus point try, 24-7, and it looks just too far for Wales to get back. Proves to be the case, but on 80 minutes, when it's red, Tipperick scores, nice maul try. Unfortunately, it's not enough to get within bonus point territory for them, so it finishes 24-14. So really good win for Ireland. Too much control of territory and possession, and they converted their pressure. So good test match rugby and a bonus point to boot. Got to be thrilled with their start to the Six Nations. Sure, maybe their attack isn't as expansive as we thought it might be, but it's winning, it's controlling, it's strong, they look happy, they look enthused, you know, you've got to be pleased with that Ireland. Wales will be disappointed because their attack looked really good, but they just didn't have enough of it. And there are defensive questions, you know, Sean Edwards leaving, etc. There were a few too easy tries, even though Ireland did control the territory in possession, like I said. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of that game. I enjoyed it. You know, I don't think Wales should be too down, but they do need to step up their defence. Ireland in a great position, but maybe have to, you know, just up it a tiny bit in attack if they're going to win the championship. But Ireland can be very happy with that win. Hi there guys, welcome back. So England get their win 13-6 in the wind, in the rain, terrible conditions, but they were value for their win. Scotland stayed in it, could have nicked it, but England had more chances and they had more dominance throughout. So let's have a look at the game, see what happened. Scotland actually pick up a bonus point for that, but that's 2 losses now, so they're probably out of the Six Nations running. England still in the running, but you know, hanging on in there, but a much better performance all round. Anyway, to start with, Scotland get a good sustained attack, but then turnover pen for England releases it, and all I thought was at least it's not as bad as France, where they started by shipping points straight away. So that was a positive for me as an England fan. But the conditions were wet, it looked like it was going to be ping pong conditions on kicking, and England were playing into the wind in that first half, and they did kick very well in that first half. The conditions were wet, England were pinging the corners, they kicked very well in that first half, better than in the second half actually, and they were winning the territory and possession stats, and they had a penalty which they missed, and Farrell missed quite a few penalties all day. It was a terrible kicking conditions day. He gets a penalty just after that and converts it, but they miss a lot of penalties. They could have been further ahead than 3-0 at half time, but anyway, it's windy, it's greasy, it looks like it's going to be a penalty kicking day. Poor George Furbank, his second cap after a poor performance in the first game, in the worst conditions possible for a fullback, but he was solid. He did well, he can breathe a sigh of relief. Well done him. I mean, he didn't have a spectacular game, but he didn't make any glaring errors, did what he had to do, and as a fullback in those conditions, that's all you can do. Then a more penalty to Scotland. They turn down a very possible 3 and go to the corner, but then Curry turns it over. Curry and Underhill were awesome all game, unbelievable. I like Ludlam as well. I still think the balance will be better with a big guy like Don Brandt, especially in conditions like that, but hey-ho. Curry played really well. I thought he was man of the match actually. I think it was given to Underhill. Anyway, but Curry then gets a second turnover and England clear their lines, and England's kicking is working well. Underhill with another lightning turnover on 24 minutes. Another shot at a penalty, but missed that. So it's only a 3-0. Underhill was tackling like a beast. Watson then steps up on 34 minutes with a brilliant turnover. And again, possibly could have gone for touch, but possibly could have gone for points, but go for touch again. Possibly another tactical error. Mako makes the turnover this time. Him and Cruz are a huge difference. Such a better forward pack. Still think they're missing maybe one big ball carrying in the back row, but it's still a better pack, and possibly a mistake for Scotland to turn down points again. Ford gets a very gettable drop goal. Sorry, he goes for a very gettable drop goal on 39 minutes, but misses that as well. So it's 3-0 to England at half time. They very much deserve to be in front. So only 3-0 going into the second half. And straight away the fortunes turn a bit. Ford makes the first big error with a big drop under a high ball. Sutherland makes a huge break when England don't line up in the guard position on the ruck. Make a big break. Scotland 5 metres out from a line out. England probably happy for just a penalty, and it goes 3-all. So good result for Scotland. Being under the pump, they come straight back out in the second half and get it level. But then line out was a problem for Scotland all day. England were making a mess of the line out. And then it goes against England a bit there. There's a line out clearly not straight from Scotland, not given by the referee. He plays on for some reason. They don't get advantage, but he plays on and Scotland end up 10 metres out. But again, can't convert. England clear. It's a tussle in the wind of the rain. Can Scotland turn it their way? And it looks like one mistake, one penalty might make the difference. Anyway, Hines, does he learn? No, he puts a second kick out on the full, which is really, really poor. He had to aim in field because the wind was so bad, and he didn't learn from his first kick out on the full. Hines actually played all right apart from that, but that was poor. Then England get a scrum penalty. So the line-out was going well for England, they were stealing the ball, but then they get a scrum penalty. The wind's kind of reversing a little bit. At least England are on top in the set piece, but they still can't quite get the telling breakthrough. Anyway, then Ford puts out a terrible kick on the full. Really poor, no need, has to hit it down the middle of the pitch surely. And then another kick out on the full from Daly, and I'm starting to think, well, are England going to throw this away by some poor kicking? As good as they were in the first half, they made a series of very poor kicks, but luckily, or maybe not luckily, but England are dominating the line out, make another mess of a maul. Scotland can't get any points. So the telling moment for me comes actually around 60 minutes and 68 minutes. Scotland make a mistake finally. England get a good attacking scrum, get another penalty. Tricky kick, weird holding technique from Genge, who gets replaced on the second hold, and the kick is missed. Then a poke through kick, and Hogg Dithers hopes the ball will go over the line. It does not. Pressure on, but Hogg actually grounds the ball with his torso, which you're allowed to do. I don't think he meant to, but he had taken it over the line. So here is the moment of the match. Scrum 5, England go off the base, and then on the second or third phase, Genge smashes over the baby rhino with a good leech from behind. 3-10. They get the kick because it's out in front. They get the kick, so 3-10 absolutely. Then it's Scotland's turn to kick it out on the full. England looking to run down the clock. They do, not looking to play too fast, which is exactly right. And they get a penalty in front. 3-13. It looks all over. That's on 74 minutes. However, they give a penalty away straight away off the kick-off, and Scotland go to 6-13, so within one converted try of levelling up the game. But England managed to get back possession, run the clock down, ends 6-13. That's a bonus point for Scotland, but as I said, 2 losses, probably not enough. England deserved the win. Scotland were second best. They were in it on the scoreboard all the way, but they were second best generally throughout. England generally got the better of the kicking battle. They had more kickers, 9, 10, 12 and 15, which helped, I think. And they definitely dominated the set piece, which really helped. Now, Scotland had a good set piece against Ireland. Wasn't the case today, so that's a big plus for England. Curry and Underhill, fantastic. I still think they're missing a few ball carriers. They certainly missed Tuolangi, a guy like Cokanasiga coming off the wing possibly, but it was a better balanced team for England. The 6 forwards off the bench really helped. Ben Earl coming on, doing well as well. So a lot better all round. Scotland will be disappointed at home. They just didn't play the conditions well enough, and when you're losing out in the set piece, it's always going to be a struggle to win.